And so I'm back in a little while. This is lesson 2 for May the 12th. Moving along, last week we looked at a casual, expanded conversation between two women. You have a document like this that the conversation involves Anne and Nitty, and a neighbor asking another neighbor for help. And we talked about that these expanded conversations are where we are in terms of language acquisition and speaking ability, that we can go beyond just simple short sentences into having, an expanded conversation, a more natural sounding conversation. You're all such excellent English speakers, and I want you to feel brave about this. I want you to feel that you can take that chance and really become more casual in your conversation with when it's appropriate to be casual and to build relationships, because it really is the way that we plant little seeds for building friendships through these expanded conversations where we touch on more little topics along the way. Then we build relationships with people in doing that. When we do expanded, casual kinds of conversation, there are some things that are notably different about that. It's all under the umbrella of fluency, and fluency study can be looked at a little bit differently depending on the type of speaking or reading or writing that we are doing. So certainly when we are speaking in a class, giving a presentation, when we are speaking with an official person in an office setting, perhaps we are seeking information, perhaps we work in an office, whatever, we would use a more formal tone, and our entire, all the parts of fluency would look and sound a little different in those kinds of settings. But when we are chatting with friends, when we're asking a neighbor for a favor, when we are speaking to the clerk in the stores, this is casual stuff, okay? This is not, these are not formal situations, and so we want to sort of make our fluency fit that. So let's look at some elements of fluency that are familiar to you, I'm sure, but let's just talk about them in relationship to casual conversation. First of all, our tone. Our tone is that feeling that our voice is actually giving to the person who is listening. So a tone, a friendly tone, excuse me, a friendly tone is very much a key part of a casual conversation. We hope, okay? Sometimes a casual conversation might turn into an unfortunate conversation, and maybe our tone changes. But the idea is that this is a casual conversation, and it's on a friendly basis, okay? Even if that person is not our friend, even if we don't really know that person, we're going to approach with a friendly tone in our voice. And oftentimes that tone is exaggerated by hand motions, body language, facial gestures, a wink of an eye. Those of us who use our hands to talk often touch our faces, which is hard to not do right now, but we might, little gestures like, let me think, or, or oh my goodness, okay? Those are all the kinds of things that we might add to that tone to amplify, okay? Amplify means to make something bigger than, to amplify that tone and that feeling that we are trying to convey. The pronunciation or enunciation, both, might be a bit different as well. When we're using casual conversation, we don't have to be quite as exact about the way we pronounce every word, okay? We certainly want to use the best pronunciation, you know, that we can, but we don't need to be so very concerned about being perfect. Isn't that nice? And enunciation, okay, has to do with getting every little syllable so that we do not miss even the tiniest syllable as we pronounce each word. And again, we can relax about that a little bit more in these conversations, okay? We don't want to be lazy in our speech, but we can relax a little bit about that. It's not class. It's not giving a speech. It's a different thing. Pace, the speed in which we speak. Again, this can really be whatever it needs to be for the situation. Sometimes when we are having a casual conversation, we're talking rather quickly because that person has to leave and go somewhere, okay? Sometimes we just have all day and we're just sitting there making conversation, talking about little things, and we're not in any hurry, okay? You hear the difference? Pace can be whatever we want it to be. And as second language speakers, it might be for you a little more comfortable to slow it down and take your time, and you can do that. And you can use fillers like or let me think, or I'm trying to remember the word in English for such and such. You can slow it down, give yourself more time to think. And you can even tell the listener that I know there's a word and I'm trying to think of what that word is. So, pace doesn't have to be steady nor fast. If you are giving a speech, oftentimes the pace of your speech is pretty much the same, unless there are certain words that you want to really stress and hold on to for a few minutes. But in general, you keep a certain pace. Casual conversation, it's up to you. It doesn't matter. It can be a mixture. Word choice or word usage. In casual conversation, we can use the more casual choice of words sometimes. I like to call it gentle slang. Maybe not words that are improper or what's the word? See, I can't think of the word. Not words that are unacceptable, but words that may be very much just considered kind of slang, and we can use those. We talked about words like, or expressions like would you, could you, should you. Some of our phrasal verbs can be said in such a way as to be a little bit slang-like, you know. We can soften those consonants and make a word sound, you know, more casual. So those kinds of things, you have a little more freedom with that, and you don't have to worry about being quite so precise. I'll give some examples as we go along. Easier for me to give examples in context. And lastly, phrasing. Excuse me. Allergies are really bad right now. Phrasing has to do with those, how we kind of connect groups of words or phrases as we speak. And phrasing in casual conversation is one of the features. It's one of the things that sort of comes out in casual conversation, and it's part of what gives it that friendlier tone, I think. And I'll point that out as we go along. So what we're going to do today with this conversation between Anne and Needy, I'm going to play the part of Anne here. I'm also going to read Needy's line, and then I would like for you to echo Needy's parts, okay, after I have given you the model for how to echo that, okay? So let's just sort of try this. I'll read Anne, and then I'll read Needy, and I'll ask you to echo me on Needy. Hi, Needy. How are things with you? I'm fine. Just trying to keep my kids entertained and out of trouble. How about you guys? All right. Echo me. I'm fine. Just trying to keep my kids entertained and out of trouble. How about you guys? All right. In that phrasing, it was sort of like this. I'm fine. Trying to keep my kids out of entertained. I keep getting that wrong. Entertained and out of trouble. How about you guys? So we have that rise and fall in the voice to sort of set those phrases, all right? And so that it's not flat. I did not say, I'm fine. How are you guys? You know, I gave it some rise and some fall so that it wouldn't be so very flat. All right, Anne says, doing pretty well, although Lily is sick and I'm stuck in the house with her. It's the pits. Okay, some facial motion, some rise and fall in the voice to give a varying tone. Remember tone, we are demonstrating feeling, and in this case, the feeling came through that this is a little bit of a hard time. All right, Needy replies, oh, sorry to hear that. What's going on with Lily? Is there anything I can do? All right, echo that one with me. Oh, sorry to hear that. What's going on with Lily? Is there anything I can do? Okay, do you hear the rise and fall? Anne says, she has a stomach virus. Ugh. I heard it's going around in her classroom, so I'm not too surprised. It's no fun for her and a lot of work for me. I just hope the whole family doesn't get it. All right. Needy says, for real, stomach virus? And that should be viruses. I apologize. I made an error there. Stomach viruses are the pits. What can I do for y'all? Okay. Now you heard me say, what can I do? Almost, that's kind of that gentle slang, okay? Instead of, what can I do for y'all? Okay. Sort of combine that little three-word, no, what can I? Almost like one word, okay? It's just casual. So let's echo Nitty here. For real, stomach viruses are the pits. What can I do for y'all? and says, you can almost see her, well, there is something I need if it's not too much trouble. Okay? Sometimes we approach a question like that with a bit of an apologetic tone. It's almost as if we are apologizing in advance for asking this favor. All right? And that is okay. We don't want to be overly apologetic because that almost sounds like we're whining. Okay? We don't want to be, there is something I need if it's not too much trouble. Okay, that sounds like I'm being a big whine box, okay? That's horrible, all right? But we want to have maybe a slight tone of, a slight apologetic tone because we are asking maybe for someone to do something that's a little bit of trouble for them. So there is something I need if it's not too much trouble. And Needy says, sure, ask away, okay? Say that with me. Sure, ask away. All right, ask away. Just don't worry. Ask me. What do you need? It's fine, okay? And it says, would it be possible for you to make a grocery store run for me? I just need a few things. Lily's virus caught me off guard. Kind of casual, something catches you off guard. It's sort of an expression we use to say, we weren't prepared for this. I've been caught off guard. Needy says, of course, happy to do that. I plan to go anyway, so what may I pick up for you? Okay? And she's letting you know in a friendly tone, this is no big deal. All right, let's see if we can say it in a no big deal kind of way. Of course, happy to do that. I plan to go anyway. So what may I pick up for you? All right, good. And it says, how about I put a list in your mailbox in a few minutes? Okay. Needy replies, that's great. I'm leaving around 11. Is there anything else I can pick up for you while I'm out? I can stop by the pharmacy or whatever, wherever, excuse me. I can, whatever, wherever, it doesn't matter. Just say the word, okay? So here she's making sure that she's covering, other possible needs that you might have. Let's try this one together. That's great. I'll be leaving around 11. Is there anything else I can pick up for you while I'm out? I can stop by the pharmacy or wherever. Just say the word. And says, I think that's it, but I'll text you if something comes to mind. You're a lifesaver. No big deal. Always happy to help. I think I must owe you a million favors anyway. I'll see you a little later with your groceries. Okay, try that one with me. No big deal. Always happy to help. I think I must owe you a million favors anyway. I'll see you a little later with your groceries. And thanks her. Thank you so much, Nitty. You're the best. See you later. Now for a see you later, it's fine to say see ya later, okay? Gentle slang, see you later. There are other places in here that, more casual or almost slang would be just fine. I was just looking to see, I believe there's a place here that we had oh, okay, how about you guys? That's where it was. How about you guys? A lot of times we just say bout in casual conversation instead of about. So how about you guys? Do you hear that? You can hardly tell. How about? Okay, that's fine. Casual conversation. We do that. And we also may not necessarily, in the case of something like, is there anything else I can pick up for you? We might just say, anything else I can pick up for you? We might not begin the sentence in that more formal way, is there? We might just go, anything else I can do for you? Okay? Or always happy to help. I said here, I think I must owe you a million favors. You know, could be very, it could sound a million different ways, but it could be something like, gosh, I owe you a million favors anyway, okay? Or, you know, goodness, you do so much for me. So many ways you can say that to let that person know how much you appreciate them as well. All right, I hope that was helpful. So we're going to do another expanded conversation. This one will be between two men, but we can do it man or woman because it's the conversation that matters. And so I would like for you to go ahead and print that out if you haven't. It will say Expanded Casual Conversation 2, Making an Inquiry. And I would like you to print that out before we do that in the next lesson. Thanks.